Tears at the office. Look, it happens. Maybe it happens more than some of us would like. But the emotional honesty of crying at work can actually be a team builder rather than something to be ashamed of. Joining us to share their thoughts on the topic are Charlie Judy, an HR executive and talent management blogger in Chicago, Chris Herbert, a writer in Wilton, Connecticut, Douglas LaBier, a business psychologist and psychotherapist in Washington, D.C., and Lisa Lee, a diversity program manager at Facebook, joining us from New York City. Talk to us a little bit about how your emotions can spill over into the workplace because of the way we're working in these United States.
Yeah, well, I put it the other way around. It's how the workplace spills over into your emotions. You know, the thing that's often overlooked is that, you know, when you talk about crying or being emotional in the workplace, per se, that's good, in that if there's more of an openness about people's feelings and so on. But what's behind that? You know, could it be that new surveys find that 75% of workers feel tremendously stressed at work? Or a new Harvard study that finds that work-life balance has deteriorated sharply?
I see it more when it has to do with termination, for instance, or something that really adversely affects employment, as opposed to something that comes in from the private life. Although it does appear. I think that the interesting part of this conversation is that the lines between work and life. The work-life moniker in and of itself is starting to become a little bit outdated. Those lines are more and more blurred. And I think as people spend more time intermingling the two, my guess is that there's a little bit of a tendency to be a little bit more open with their emotions because it's hard to distinguish between one versus the other.
I've got this Wall Street Journal article pulled up. It talks about the fact that, frankly, women's tear ducts are smaller than males, that they are designed to cry more, that there are components in our genetic makeup as women that pretty much guarantees that we are going to cry more often. We're also in the workplace more. Women are in positions of power and populating the workplace more than in generations past. Do you think that this is, that more crying in the workplace could be a direct result of that, in addition to Charlie's point?
I mean, yes, but I'm no scientist. I have no idea. I wrote a post about this, exploring this topic.
Yes, you did. I'm going to bring it up right now.
And I brought up something about how it's probably biological, but people in the comments kind of corrected me and said, you know, it may not be biological. It may just be that as we raise our children, we teach the boys to not to cry, and we teach the girls that it's okay to cry.
I think it's I've cried for many different reasons. I mean, I've cried because, you know, something has been frustrating. I've cried because, you know, there was something personal, but I've also cried because I've been so invested and passionate about a project that I'm working on that sometimes, you know, when really great things happen, the tears come out for that too.
Yeah.
And while I was listening to everybody, I just thought it was really interesting that, you know, the way we talk about crying too, I mean, we talk about it as if it's like this, we cry when we break down. And I find that to be interesting because I think we associate crying, or the opposite of crying, not crying, as being in control all the time. So it's like we're implying that, you know, having any sort of emotions that's remotely visible means that you're not in control.
I wanted to pull up this tweet because it made me laugh that we found this from Jordan Camelli, who just repeats over and over, not going to cry at work, not going to cry at work, not going to cry at work. Then we have a little emoticon she's made for us with an apostrophe stepping in as a sideways tear. I just thought it was really funny that I'm so embarrassingly empathetic that I almost wanted to start crying for this girl when I read this tweet.
Right.
It's more okay than we think. I'm going to leave with the example that made me positive that I was going to be assigned this. It's very self-referential, and but I just am going to leave everybody with it because it takes us full circle. I officially have tears rolling down my face, which is super unprofessional, but I'm just proud to have been able to partake in this conversation. I'm obviously very, very proud of my cousin. I love him so much, and I didn't think I was going to have a meltdown, but
You know what? I'm not a newscaster. I'm just me. And this is HuffPost Live. So,
so that says that, guys.